So do you struggle with the quality and longevity for your detailing accessories? Do you have detailing brushes that fall apart? Do you have wheel brushes that fall apart after 2 or 3 uses? Do you have microfibers that fall apart, wash mitts that fall apart? So the question today is work stuff the solution to our problem?
So the reason that we've really got involved in work stuff is that these brushes here, okay, these have been used for the last 9 months.
Are these the ones out the wheel wash bucket?
Yeah, these are the ones out the wheel wash bucket, and we've been using them, like I said, about 9 months, and we've had no degradation of these brushes.
Just hold on, they still look in good shape, and they've had all sorts. They've had, you know, fallout removers, all kinds
wheel
of nasty
cleaners,
chemicals.
all types of them.
We've got a lot of optimism on this because we're thinking, is this really strong, robust, good value kit to use? That's why we're doing this review, isn't it?
So if it's anything to go by the brushes, I've got high hopes.
Okay, so today's vehicle is a Golf. This is take 3, a Golf GTD. You've seen this on the videos before. It is ceramic coated. So why are we doing this? We're looking at all the wash-induced sort of damage you do to your vehicles. So that includes using your wash mitts, your detailing brushes, and your drying towels. So because this has been ceramic coated, we know it's in really, really good condition. So we're going to be monitoring if any damage has occurred when we're using the wash media and all that kind of stuff. But go and have a look at your own vehicle. Have you machine polished it? Have you started to see micro scratches and all that kind of stuff? Look round your emblems where you're using your brushes to see if you've got all those like tiny micro scratches. More than likely it is because you are using wash media, okay, that isn't doing its job properly. It's maybe washing your car, but it's leaving behind scratches. That is the focus of this review. So we're going to be paying particular attention, would you agree, to seeing how much damage this stuff makes, because we've seen it before. We've used cheap stuff off a certain online foreign store that is a false economy. It's cheap, but it's damaging the car. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I've got some at home. I've got some really cheap brushes that I literally just put to the side because I just don't trust it on paintwork.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this test is about longevity of products, okay, good strong stuff that's going to last, but ultimately you don't want it damaging your car. So we're going to do the normal wash sequence. We're going to do pre-wash, we're going to shampoo it, we're going to do the wheels using all this stuff and work stuff, and see our thoughts at the end.
Exactly.
Okay, so on to the wheel clean. Now, first of all, quick evaluation of the buckets and the dollies. I love them. What are your thoughts, Karl?
I'm going to agree. I love the design of them. The dolly itself is fantastic, and the reason that is unlike our other dollies, there is a brake on there that will insist, especially if you're on a slant like we are, will stop the bucket rolling away. Like we've just shown on the video,
exactly. The runaway bucket. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree with you. You know, there's lots of discussions about the price of buckets, and we're going to put all the prices and all that kind of stuff up. These are robust buckets. This is unless you drop it and crack it, this is going to last you for life, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's solid. And obviously we've got the black one and the yellow one. Now, just for SA, what have you got in? What the utensils from work stuff are you using for this wheel wash?
So we've got the wheel mitt.
Yep.
I'll just stick that in there. We've got the Blizzard, which is the smaller of the wheel brushes.
Now, we've been after one of them for a long time, haven't we? Because we've been using a big one, and we've always wanted a little one, so that's good.
We've got the Thunder, which is the larger wheel brush.
Yep.
We have got the tyre brush.
Excellent.
And we've got a selection of the work stuff brushes.
Now, they're the ones that we've been using for absolutely ages, so we're just going to carry on using them, aren't we?
Well, exactly. we've been using them on wheels. There's no point in getting the newer stuff dirty when we've got good quality brushes already.
Now, when it comes to brushes, what's your opinion on? We've seen a lot of people using quite harsh brushes on the paintwork, and we know it's scratching the car. So, Work Stuff do a selection of brushes. These ones, are they soft, hard, or
they're sort of in between? Well, I think they're quite soft.
Yeah.
But they're robust, certainly enough for paintwork and wheels. The great bit about it is their sort of chemical resistance. Like I said, 9 months we've had these, and we've got no degradation. I can pull on them. There's no bristles coming out still on them.
Now, we've used, we'll put the links in the description, we've used these on gloss black, and they do not scratch it.
Absolutely not.
But they're almost soft-ended, or almost like a rounded end, so they're not sort of when you're forcing it in, causing any damage. But they've got enough rigidity, robustness to actually do the job, i.e. remove crap off the wheels, would you agree?
Exactly, either the wheels or the seals around the car. They're robust enough that they're getting they're cleaning in those gaps, so they're fantastic.
Okay, so the ones we're using on the wheels, which are slightly more robust, would you use them around your emblems and all your rubbers?
No, they've got a separate range, slightly softer, that would definitely be better for paintwork around your emblems and that.
Yeah, and we're going to be using them shortly, aren't we?
Exactly.
I think before you start that, I think a job like this is the importance of chemical resistance. You know, especially when you look at what we're putting on, we're putting a fallout remover, and we've used brushes for the tarring glue and acidic wheel cleaners with these brushes, and this is where a lot of people run into problems, isn't it? They buy cheap, and they'll probably get 1 or 2 uses and wonder why the fibres started falling out and all that kind of stuff. But those brushes just seem to keep going, and that's what caught our attention on Work Stuff, wasn't it?
Exactly. Especially when you start talking about tar and glue and all that, which is a sort of solvent-based thing, it's going to attack the glue that's holding those fibres in, and it doesn't seem to do that with the Work Stuff brushes.
And looking at the pH scale of them brushes, we've used basically pH1 to pH14, and they just keep going, don't they?
Exactly that.
Absolutely. So, okay, so what we got here, we've got the wheel brush. Now, we've had issues with these, haven't we? We would not mention names. We bought one off a brand, and we had no end of issues. And if you look back at some of our other videos, you can see Karl using not this one but another one, and his hands jolting all over the place. So
it was the bristles were just too rigid.
Hard. So what they like on this one?
These are not too. They're certainly sturdy, but not overly sturdy that I should expect any sort of resistance whilst cleaning. Exactly that.
So you need them strong enough to actually bite into the dirt and remove it, but you need to for it to travel, basically. Looks like it's biting into the dirt, which is good.
Yeah, it's doing the job. They're strong enough to bite into the tyre and get that dirt out, but actually soft enough that I've not got any travel restrictions.
So nice, it went round, it didn't stop. The teeth of the fibres weren't biting into the rubber and stopping and all that kind of stuff. So
does the job.
Really, really good, actually.
So now I'm going to get the wheel brushes out, get those barrels clean, and in between, obviously, the alloys themselves. So for the larger gaps, obviously we grab out the Thunder.
What's your initial thoughts on that? Okay, so once again, you need these to be robust enough to actually get purchase on the dirt and everything, but would you use something like this on piano black perhaps? I don't know, what are your feelings on the softness?
Wow, you can see from there, and you should be able to hear the fact that they are soft. There's no rigidity to them, so I would like to think that I would find them gloss black safe.
You got the little plastic plate there,
which is going to stop spray back,
which is an absolute bane of every detailer's life. Handle strong enough?
Seems sturdy.
Because so that's the bit that usually happens. It's the handle that falls off, isn't it?
Well, we've had a previous make of wheel brush that we lost the handle after a while.
Absolutely.
So hopefully. It should be sturdy enough to.
And it's got the little protective nipple on the end. Okay, you do not want to see use these cheap ones that have got exposed metals, especially on expensive wheels. So let's watch Carlos in action. Seem to take the shampoo quite well,
and it's definitely getting rid of the dirt, as you can see there.
That's encouraging. That sort of rubber plate on the back definitely stops it, because it's when you pull it out, when you using the withdrawal method, you usually get sprayed over the face, which is quite nice.
Yes,
just keep it clean.
It definitely is a godsend when we're pulling out that brush. as those fibres start to flick back,
Yep.
this seems to be guarding us quite a lot from there. And as you can tell from the coat and all that, I've got no spray back on
Just
there.
out of interest, will it go into the smaller recesses, them alloys? So it probably will.
So yeah,
In fact, you probably use that one for this one. We're going to use the other one as well. I suppose the proof of the pudding is how long these brushes are going to last, which we can't sort of vouch for at the moment. But in terms of functional, really, really good. Thoughts then? Safe? So did it feel safe? Did you feel like you were scratching them? If these were piano black, would you have concerns?
no, I wouldn't.
Excellent, excellent. Good stuff, good stuff. And the trusty sort of wheel mitt. Now, we don't really use these, and I suppose we should really, shouldn't we? Now, talk about that, because that's quite... Is that the one with the finger bits inside?
Yeah, so it's stitched. Sorry, there, I'll just move a bit of this. So it's stitched in two areas. So you've got a space for your small fingers, 2 middle fingers, and you obviously your other finger here.
Yeah.
So it slides onto the hand nicely, and then you've got this thumb hook, so that whilst you're cleaning, it's not coming off.
Thumb hook, that's good. Okay, yeah, because you're going to be putting your fingers and your hands behind spokes. You don't want to be sort of falling off. But proof of the pudding is in the usage, I suppose. We should have been using these, really, aren't they? Because these are really good bits of kit.
Well, we've had lots of people say to us about getting one of these and using them.
Yeah.
And although I've not had it because of the Kia, and I wouldn't be able to use one of these on there, it's definitely handy.
Yeah. Feel soft, safe under the...
Yeah, again, another safe product that I'd feel confident on any type of alloy, really.
Good times, excellent. Wheels going well. And I suppose the final bit is to use our trusty brushes, which really, like we keep saying, caught our interest months ago. And we've seen, indeed, a lot of detailers using these work stuff brushes, haven't we? They seem to be what a lot of people associate with work stuff. And this review's about they've got other stuff as well.
Well, that's it. And then, well, we saw a couple of detailers using these, and that sparked our interest into them.
But the beauty of these brushes are they've got enough purchase to actually remove stuff. But they're not that rigid that you can't actually get them into the actual crevices. And there are some detailing brushes out there, again, not mentioning brands, which are almost like bristles, and you're thinking you just shouldn't be using them. Okay, that's it all rinsed off. Time to inspect your work, because I suppose it's not just about feel, it's not about sensation, it's not just about the cathartic experience of washing. The main bit is how good has he done? So go and have a look, Karl. What do you think? What do you think, Karl? Are you happy?
To my usual standard, perfect.
To your usual standard. It's all about giving yourself toffee. Okay, on to the all-important contact wash phase. Now, you've seen in all our videos, myself and Karl have got our own method of doing it. We will snow foam lance apply the shampoo. We'll then go on to brushwork, and we do not use a 2-bucket method. We use a 1 bucket with grit guard and multiple wash mitts. Now, we've only got 1 wash mitt on this one. We've decided that if we get on all right with this, we'll go and buy some more so we can stick to our routine. That's just the way we do it. You can be quite aggressive with this, just from a testing point of view, and if it's leaving any kind of sort of scratches, it's not fit for purpose. So we'll get the brushes out, we'll have a play, and take it from there. And what you look for, you need it robust enough to be able to get into all the crevices, but like you said, you don't want it scratching your paint.
Which this brush seems to be doing quite well.
What, scratching the paint?
No, not scratching the paint, but getting into the crevices and holding its shape and
good.
Getting all the dirt out.
Basically, we use the brushes for everywhere where there's a crevice, really. You can literally go to town around your door handles, around your emblems, around your wing mirrors, all down the sides here and all that kind of stuff. And we enjoy this bit, because if you look at the videos we've done in the past using these brushes, the amount of dirt that comes out, it's a key stage, isn't it?
Absolutely. You want that dirt out of there, because it actually starts to affect the seal within that's holding that water out of your door and other parts of the car.
And it's dirt that, if left, when it rains, it's going to migrate onto your bodywork, which is sort of defeating the object of washing your car. So
exactly.
I'm going to follow Karl around. I might even play some music and watch this man at work. Okay, before I forget, loving these buckets. Just noticed they've got the 7.5 litre, 10 litre, 12.5 litre, 15 litre gauge there. So I'm filming this now before I forget, but rock solid buckets, love it. The beauty for me always filming is I get Karl to wash. So just so you know, off camera, okay, I do stuff, don't I?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, right then. Okay, so using our one wash mitt, let's see what we think. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing scraping. I'm hearing nothing.
That's a good thing, because if I heard scraping, I'll be worried about the owner being a bit upset
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm borrowing his car at the moment, so we need to hope he's watching this. I am looking after your car.
So straight away, I am going to say it feels soft. Now I know that the shampoo is going to aid that, and we're using a very slick shampoo, but I feel safe with this with this mitt itself, and it holds, as you can see, a lot of water and shampoo in there. So again, like I said earlier, that's going to aid in that contact wash and reducing the amount of marring that we're going to do.
I agree with you. I'm liking the amount of, when you squeeze that out, I'm liking the amount of stuff of actual solution it's holding in there. Okay, so I agree, less returns to the bucket. And like I say, I listen in on this, because we have tested some mitts that have never got to camera, and you can hear it. And you know, if the wash mitt and the shampoo, high lubricity, are working in combination, you really shouldn't be hearing much, should you?
No, we have tested a couple where I have said to you straight away, I'm not happy using this, because I felt like I was inducing mine with that wash media.
And arguably, if there's still loads of dirt on you, would you agree you haven't really done your pre-wash phase? Because it should just be the road grime as opposed to actual grit, and all that kind of should have already been removed. So, yeah, carry on. I'm going to. How rude of me. Are you happy to continue on this car using said work stuff wash mitt?
I am, but it's rarely you ask me that.
I know. Okay, well, I've got to be polite. Okay, I'm going to interrupt this, because this really gives me confidence. I have put the microphone basically on Karl's hand, and we're going to see if it makes any noise whatsoever. A weird test, but it's almost silent. Gives me confidence. Go on, Karl. It glides, and I know there's not that much you can say about a wash mitt, but it's all about that feeling of confidence. Now, yes, we are going to look at the paintwork with an inspection light afterwards, because I know this bonnet has not got any micro swirls or anything like that. But just out of interest, Karl, you were saying you're not usually a fan of these, but you're enjoying this. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm more of a sort of the Chanel type
you can
ones.
see your finger marks, how soft it is. I really hope these wash well and they maintain this.
Exactly. I'm not the biggest fan of these types. I'm more like the noodles, the Chanel noodles, but this I feel very safe on paintwork with.
Fantastic, that's good times. Okay, we've taken the vehicle in and it is looking very clean. Would you agree, Carlos?
I would agree.
But the majority of people are using drying towels, and would you agree, Karl, that not all drying towels are equal?
They're not.
Excellent. So talk to us about before you even start using it, what you're looking for when you get a new drying towel. Is there any sort of variables you're looking at?
Softness, really.
Yeah.
How thick it is, you know, and when we're using it, obviously it'll be how absorbent it is to doing its job.
Size, I mean, how big's that one?
It's
quite big, isn't it?
Quite big. It's not the biggest we've seen, but now, again, if it's too big, it becomes difficult then to dry the car, because obviously when you start getting to low levels, you do not want to be dragging this around. So
good tips. That's Karl's tip of the day. You're looking really dark there. Yeah, talk us through.
So first of all, you should not put a dry towel onto paintwork.
Why not?
Because there's a couple of reasons. First of all, you want to soften the fibres anyway, and the water will soften the fibres. And secondly, okay, a damp towel is more absorbent, because at the end of the day, water attracts water.
Excellent. You've passed your test for the
Thank
day,
you.
Karl. Oh, look at that. Okay, so yeah, so plenty of water still left on the vehicle. So where do you start, Karl? Do you start on the glass first or the paintwork?
I tend to start on the glass first, because I'm not going to induce any marring on the glass.
Yeah.
So I can use the dry towel on the glass that will then suck up the water, making this damp, and being able to use on paintwork then.
It's very clever, isn't he?
I know. I try my best.
You should do. We should do a video on Karl's guide to drying vehicles. Good stuff. Okay, yes, crack on then.
So let's stick this on. Let's get this all nice and damp.
But usable size.
definitely usable size, and because I wouldn't say it's the thickest of towels, but because of that, I'm able to grab it and put it along and do what I need to do. So it's trying to get as much of that towel contacted against the windows, so I've got as much absorbency as possible when it comes to drying.
Okay, so we may as well talk about there's various techniques for drying a car. Do you want, just from an education point of view, just want to go over the sort of techniques, because you see some people scrunching them up, but there's a couple of techniques that we use when we're drying. So
first one, and the one we normally do, is we lay it out flat and then we just drag. Okay, and then as that pulls down, it removes that water.
And on the last bit, the sort of just show the blot technique. I mean, the blot technique's really for, you know, pristine paintwork, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because there is the risk of even dragging it. If you do have any grit, you potentially scratching it. But the technique that we use that Karl will show you now is just laying it on sort of flat and dabbing it. So, and just gently doing like that. So you can either do it like Karl's doing, or lay the entire towel flat and then just pat it and then remove it. So in terms of drying, is it doing its job, Karl?
It seems to be doing its job. It seems to be doing it well.
Excellent.
You know, same as our other drying towels, it's done a very, very good job of doing it.
The important bit, does it feel safe?
Yes, it does.
Excellent.
When I was pulling it across there was some resistance, which I expect, because I'm obviously water against water. You're going to cause some sort of suction to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
As we pull it off, we're dragging that water off with it.
So is it twisted loop?
I think it is,
isn't it?
Yes.
It's the same both sides, quite heavy, but that just proves you how much watering is picking up. So,
absolutely.
I like the colour as well, sort of a greeny, sort of different angles you look at it. So really, really good. So happy to dry the rest of the car using
Absolutely.
this. Fantastic. So good times. I am really excited. We're testing something that I've never ever seen before. There might be people that do it, but I think Karl's seen one, but I've never seen one. What is he talking about? What are we talking about, Carlos?
So these are called magnetos.
The bejesus are they?
So it's little microfiber sort of panels with magnets inside that you can put against the paintwork, safely against the paintwork of the car, to essentially...
Be honest, have you ever heard of such wizardry?
So essentially, and we all know VWs are absolutely prone for this.
Well, you can see it there, can't you?
Exactly, and this is designed that they sit against the paintwork and caps.
That is genius.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Why am I getting so excited about this?
But I have seen them. I've seen them on Insta and all that, and it did sort of arouse.
Come on, keep going.
Arouse.
We love that word.
Arouse. Into what these were for.
Karl's getting aroused.
Obviously, Workstuff sent us this, and do you know what? Absolutely fantastic piece of kit.
Right. My initial concern is if that's got magnets in it, is that damaging my paint?
No, because the magnet sits, if you see there, the magnet actually sits encased in that microfiber.
So there's no chance of that breaking through and, you know, magnet on paint?
No, I shouldn't expect so. This is good quality from the looks of it and feel of it. Good quality microfiber.
You can actually it's not like a bar magnet, it's just like
two little discs.
Two little discs in there, isn't
there's multiple discs. I think there's another one in there. So I think there's three discs all together that hold that in place and catch those godforsaken drips that happen after you dry the car.
I think that is genius, and someone's probably made millions out of that. I love this. Arguably, you could get one for under your wing mirrors, under your door handles and all that kind of stuff, and especially if you're not using DI water and all that kind of stuff. We've all seen them. We've seen the drips down there, leaving that white residue right down there. I think that is genius, and I am actually excited.
And you normally spot it the day afterwards as well.
Absolutely.
Which is absolutely gutting after you spent so long cleaning.
So if you've seen these before, why haven't you told me?
Next question.
Roger. Okay, so moving swiftly on to the Pure View glass cleaning mitt, which is beautiful. Talk to us, Goose.
So it's a glass cleaning mitt. We've got 310 GSM on one side, 440 on the other. So we essentially wipe down the window with this side and then remove any residue with the plusher side.
So do you use mitts? I mean, we use glass cleaning cloth. So what are your thoughts on using a mitt?
it'll be the first time I'm using the mitt, if I'm honest, so I will leave that sort of prognosis until the end.
Yeah, there's stitching down there as well, so I'm presuming that's where you split your fingers when you put your hand in. So, okay, arm yourself with a suitable glass cleaner and carry out functional test forthwith. Doing it, will your fingers be able to sort of get into the edges? Was there any restrictions of using a mitt as opposed to a cloth? Because that's, I suppose, quite important.
No, I actually tend to quite like the mitt. If I can get across all the window, I can get into all the nooks and crannies that I would do with a cloth. It is what it is, really, isn't it? It is what it is. It's nice and simple to use.
Thoughts on build quality quickly?
Really good. Again, another quality produced item.
Absolutely, looks strong. And once again, the key factor on this is how long will it last. So, okay, we're getting to the end of part 1. There is going to be a part 2 of Work Stuff's product review videos. The last one we're going to look at before our sort of wrap-up video. So what are we looking at here, Carlos?
We've got Work Stuff Cyclone Tire Dressing Applicator.
Excellent. So it comes in its own housing. Just remove it. Yeah, lots of these on the market. This one does come with a nice, strong sort of holder, and the bristles tightly packed.
Tightly packed and soft.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, give it a go, see what you think. So, I mean, it's a simple object, but what are you looking for here?
Just looking for sort of even application of the dressing.
And no sticking, no grabbiness.
No, exactly that. And
that's what bristles allowing you to move it, aren't you?
Yes, that's it. So, and the thing with applying the dressing, okay, is make sure you just go to just the edge of the tread.
Yeah, not on the treads.
You don't want it on the treads, because at the end of the day, the treads are what keeps you gripped to the actual road.
So how easy, there's a bit there, how easy is it to get the edge in there so you get the full sort of that edge bit?
So you have to angle it to get that last little bit of edging on the tyre. But
okay, so that's the end of part 1. There is a part 2. There's a few more bits and bobs that we haven't done, so we're going to continue this journey. And to think it all started about, I don't know, 8-9 months ago when we got these. They're still going. We're going to test these to destruction, but I think that's going to take a long time. Would you agree?
I think it is.
All right, so quick summary. All these items are pretty basic, but things like wash mitts and drying towels, they can cause damage. So I think it was worth us not being patronising, but going into a bit more detail as to what we're looking for and give our feedback now.
Exactly, that's the case.
Right, so right from the start, a couple of things I would say. Communication with the brand, okay, if you want to contact them, is really, really good. The packaging is fantastic. All right, straight away you know it's a Work Stuff item. Good quality packaging, and I think that extends over into the products themselves. So we've discussed all the products, Karl, but what's your overall summation of this as a brand? So if you had someone, either a professional that was looking for a new brand to engage with and to use their products, or a keen enthusiast, is this a brand you'd recommend, and if so, why? And if not, give your reasons.
So would I recommend them to professionals and weekend warriors? Yeah. And there's one word why I say that: quality.
And that's what we thought from the start, isn't it? From these, that quality, I totally agree that quality extends. The stuff is robust, but it's got a finesse to it. And what I mean by that is the brushes that we use for the paintwork do not scratch it. We have gone round, or I went round with an inspection light around the badges and all over the bodywork. There is no induced scratches, okay, and that is genuine. I'll show a bit of a sort of B-roll video of me doing that. There's no induced micro scratches or marring and all that kind of stuff. So I already knew that, but I needed to prove that with the new stuff we've got. It just from the bucket and everything, it's just got a solid rigidity to it. All the people that are asking for recommendations for detailing stuff that lasts, I personally recommend it.
I do.
There is a part 2 coming. I'll leave lots of details where you can get all this stuff, okay, but it's a brand I can trust. We're going to be using the buckets and all these detailing products over the coming months to test the sort of longevity of it. All we can do at the moment is share our user experience, isn't it, at source. So anything more to say, Carlos?
Absolutely not.
Excellent. So until the next video, take care.
Bye-bye.